Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As with you always, this is Max. Do another video today on XRP. No, I know. I've been doing that for like 3 days, but it's just so addictive. Only rich with common sense crypto can do that. XRP. All right. On a serious note, I'm going to welcome some of you guys. Going to start things off by turning on some banners. Not financial advice. Please don't sue us. That's basically how it goes in a nutshell. But for the most part, we don't really, promote like, meme coins and stuff. So is it really that big of a deal? Still, it is a big deal. All right. I think it's going to be a good show. I shouldn't say I think it's going to be a show. It's going to be a great show. Absolutely awesome. Great show. All right. Let's get into it. Let's start things off with the one, the only, Mr. Josh Cornwell, a.k.a. JC, the man with the master plan. They call him Josh Cornwell, man, and I think you better recognize. So recognize this. You can follow this nice young man over on JC, the man, and I'm going to show you that particular page here in just a moment. Yes, there we go. There we go. And it's right here. JC, the man. Yes, sir, Doodah. And he's up to 103 subs. And he has a few new recent videos. Cool 7, where he's like showing you some things, about 5.5 minutes. A video of him playing Call of Duty with his sis. And a summer update. And he also has some shorts, obviously. Here's some of the more popular ones. 6,100 views with his sis. Another one says "Yo" with what is that? Is that a headlight of a Mazda RX-7? Looks like it is, and some other things. So you can give him a follow. Leave that up there for a bit. All right, we're also going to welcome Mr. Tim Shea, who says, "Hey, the mayor of crypto, representing the 589th district of the XRP Army. Thank you for being here, Mr. Tim Shea, crypto commissioner, commissioner, oui." Miguel is back. He says, "What up, crypto family? Thanks for being here, Miguel. Glad to have you here." Brittany's in the house, looking sharp as usual. Hello, hello. Hello. Is it Brittany you're looking for? Well, obviously not Lionel Richie, but it's Brittany. Thank you for being here, Brittany. Mike, welcome back. He says, "Hey, Max, bull run or accumulation phase?" I have something in regards to that. So once we're done, welcome some people. So in reality, we're really never done welcoming people. But we're going to get into the headline, which is Bitcoin dominance. And maybe that will answer how you feel about it and so on. For me personally, I want to see a little bit more reports. I am leaning towards bull run. But yeah, I want to see just a tad bit more. This may be it. Or towards the end of the accumulation phase. And like I mentioned many times before, you can still make that money on the markup, but it's right before the peak of the markup. It's like the saying goes, why would you want to make, or try to how about this? Don't have an entry point like some people did on 11/11/2021. 69K at Bitcoin. My God, right? That's why people get wrecked. But yeah, I'm definitely leaning more towards bull run. All right. Glad you guys are welcoming each other, though. Hello to you too, Miss. Hold on a second. Sorry. But yeah, thank you, Brittany. And Crypto Jedi's in the house. Hold on. This is the Rich with another video on XRP. So with a hard R. Yeah, XRP. All right. We're just welcoming a few more people as they filter in. Tim Shea's wishing Jedi, hoping that he's doing well wherever you are in this great world. I know where you're going with that. Ahmed, welcome back. He says hi. What? Oh, it's a typo. Okay, my bad. Welcome to Ahmed. Yes, common sense crypto, aka Rich. On top of that, we got Ahmed Satan, U.S. House Committee to vote on crypto stablecoin legislation in July. What you guys, whoa, a comment just blew up. What you guys think the results will be? Oh, man. I hope it goes our way, but you never know. I'm not going to say what I think because I don't really know. It's too divided. I mean, we got some people they're pro crypto, which is good, but it's very, very divisive on both sides. Sobo, welcome back. Hello, Max. I know that's a typo, and everyone. See, when I see S&D, I literally think of Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, like search and destroy. Anyway, welcome to Sobo. Glad to have you here, Sobo. I really mean that. It's always a pleasure. And hopefully you're having a little bit of break, tomorrow is my last day as far as the whole shebang with, what we got going on, right? Maybe you're already done with that for a couple weeks. I can't remember. All right, KK is back. Welcome back. I didn't see yesterday, but welcome back. The banks showed their hand. Crypto about to get the nod. How you like them apples from KK? Thank you for that. On top of that, we got Crypto Jedi says this is Rich with another video on IOTA. Moda. Oh, he says Moda. That's funny. XRP and XLM will be stable coins. Yep. All right, we're going to go further down and see who else is here. I'm glad you guys are welcoming each other. Steve the Canadian from the Lazy Shaman Show, featuring, of course, him, Steve the Canadian. Well. If it isn't Max. Oh, hey, Max. Oh, hey. Glad to see you here, Steve. Appreciate you. And the one and only Mr. Brian freaking Dowie is in the house. And he's saying, of course, hello to Steve first. Because, at the end of the day, you got to welcome the D-gens and so on. You got to give dabs. You got to give credit where credit's due. And at the end of the day, people do get butthurt if I don't read all the comments first. Playing. You play around with me. I play around with you too. All right. Good to see you, Mr. Brian Dowie. I'll read this from Crypto Jedi. Rich, a common sense. I would leave comments for him to do a review on Jasmine. He ignores everyone. He follows me. I sent him 2 great compliments. It shows that it's been seen on the bottom right-hand corner. Doesn't say anything. I don't know what the deal is, but it's okay. One of those things. I mean, a simple like TY would have sufficed. Didn't even get that, but it is what it is. I mean, he makes up for it with his, Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So we're going to start off with this Bank of International Settlements on-demand liquidity for Mr. Augustine through the likes of an Oreo cookie. Smash that like if you haven't done so already. I don't know. Menace, welcome. Glad to have you. Steve the Canadian's giving the dabs. Rich is only into XRP, XLM, some other coin. I want to say he's only into XRP. I mean, he does cover QNT. His last video on QNT was really good. In the past, he's covered Relio. If you look into the video section, IOTA, DAG, Energy Web Token. There's some other ones. He covers a few, but the main focus, of course, is XRP. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if he's killing it with the views on XRP, he's going to put the focus kind of like, like we talk about supply and demand with crypto, right? Even here at CTN, I'm sure there's some people that probably wish I would put more emphasis on doing a bunch of BSV videos or, Nixera videos and so on. But the ones that shine here are Jasmine and Quant and XLM too. And once in a while XTC, but you get where I'm coming from. Max, did you just say I'm butthurt? No, I was talking. No, I would never say that. I was talking about Rain. Yeah. Rain with Mudbutt Special, 2024 Mudbutt Special. Yes, that's what I was talking about. All right, Brandon Webb, Jasmine, welcome back. Thank you for being here, Brandon Webb. And we'll read this and we'll kick it into what we have for the lineup. Please smash that like if you haven't done so already. Imagine how cool it would be if Rich, a common sense, would do a video on Jasmine. Yeah, it would be cool. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I mean, that's why I said, even though some of you guys, not necessarily specifically certain people, but I've seen things, right? Some guys maybe not, not the biggest fans of what's his name? The guy with the same name of the guy from Friends. Oh, Matthew Perry. There you go. Some people like him, some people don't. Some people just kind of neutral on him. But say what you want. Somebody that has like, was it over 100,000 or 200,000 subs? That's a good thing. Covering Jasmine, and he has covered a few times. I even saw Europop covering a few times. I might not be the biggest Europop fan, but I honestly think it's a big win for all of it. No matter how big or small the channel is, more and more people talking about Jasmine is a great thing. Okay, maybe two more comments. There's been a mistake. Did you say steak? That's fine. Jason Rouse, Hedera, 12 billion real world transactions, 1400 TPS, more higher than that actually. We did cover some of the recent things that happened yesterday. Yes, that would be amazing. All right. FTP too rich for ignoring his subs, but I'll still watch his videos. All right. We're also going to welcome Michael Montclair. Glad to have you here, Mr. Montclair. Let's kick it into what we have as far as the headline. All right. So we're going to use Michael Montclair's comment as a, point of reference. And let's kick it over to what we have. It comes from FX Street. So we're going to start things off. And I believe this was yesterday. So I won't be able to use my super cool breaking news thing, but that's okay. All right, let's go ahead and share this. So here it is, straight from FX Street. And before we get into this, let's see how we're doing. We have 17 likes. If you guys can, it's free, don't cost you anything. Please smash the like. It helps the broadcast get out to a larger audience because it kicks in the YouTube algorithm. Unless you absolutely hate us and you're like, you know what, man, freaking Max sucks. He sucks he sucks with a capital S. I freaking hate this show. I don't even know why I'm watching it. It just shows up on my feed. I hate his freaking P hat. It means he's Filipino Ice Cube. But in reality, I found out it's Portland. But yeah, he roots for the freaking Phoenix Suns. This guy's a bunch of freaking nonsense, and I can't stand him. I'm going to watch him anyway. Whatever the case be, I welcome you. All right. Let's go ahead and get into this right now. FX Street, Bitcoin dominance hits 2-year high at 51%, jeopardizing altcoin gains. Now, earlier, right, welcoming people, we had Mike, and he asked me if I felt as though that we are going to have or continue accumulation phase or is bull run. Well, this may give you a broader perspective. So it makes the headlines. So let's jump into it a little bit more. BTC price basically has been on a tear since the start of 2023, but it's been kind of up and down. But it's a heck of a lot better than it was at 15,800 where it touched during the time of FTX. The recent uptick in BTC dominance has pushed it into 2-year highs at 51.03%. And of course, like it says, altcoins might have to take a backseat until the big crypto takes a breather. Now, is today the breather? And that's a great question. Some people are asking that. Max, I saw that we're having a slight pullback. Some of you guys said yesterday it's a fake out. Don't believe a thing. It's an absolute fake out. Look right here. But right before our very eyes, this kind of fluctuated back up into the 30K for BTC. Even Ethereum up about 13%. But I mean, come on, these two represent about 81% of the overall crypto market still. And rounding things off for the day, I mean, yeah, you see Pepe up about 9-10%, 77.75% for the week. I mean, that's amazing. Glad to see SHIB, having a rebound. Chinese Matic AKCFX really doing well, about 47%. But some of the ones we cover, right? Honorable mention to VET, right? 15.5%. But XDC, it's like some people are questioning, like, well, what's going on with that? Sideways action? Are we going to get blast off? But the key thing is still a decent amount of volume, still in the top 100. So that's worth pointing out. I'll show you guys my watch list real quick before we kick back into this whole article. As far as a 24-hour chart, WTK, I'm no longer covering that. I did do a deep dive. But Caspa up 21%. I did see GF Berg's post in regards to like, hey, Max, you might get a good entry point. This goes back to the 1 cent area. Maybe I missed that, but I wouldn't beat myself up over the whole thing of, where it's at right now. I still would wait for a pullback. Here's what's going on 7-day chart. Relio network is killing it once again, up 81% for the 7-day chart. And we have said numerous times, if BTC has dominance in the market, Bitcoin Pay should also reflect that. It's not doing too bad, 37% up, but the volume doesn't look too great today, right? Anyway, thought I'd point that out as well. Some of you guys are in Veracity, that's up about 27%. Triple C, Cool Cat Crypto, Ordinals, Ordi up 29%. And we've done a brief intro into Dematra, or some people want to refer to it as like a small deep dive. That one, we have a video on it in the video section. And that one's basically, if you're wondering, just a quick gist of what that is, it's the tokenization of agriculture, 32% up, okay? So let's jump back to this whole thing of this article. So Bitcoin price has increased 74% in the last 6 months. Not too shabby. I mean, with all the complaints about what's going on with crypto and so on, in reality, if you compare this to the stock market and so on, I mean, a great year of stocks, as we know, would be like 25 to 30%. So I mean, it is what it is. But it says recent developments suggest more gains are on the way. Specifically, the BTC dominance shows a bullish outlook, while the short-term picture remains optimistic. Now, I want to jump back also one more time to what we have on this watch list, and I am going to pull up Jasmine because numerous times we talk about how Jasmine runs just about with correlation with BTC, Ethereum as well. For the week, we saw as high as 20%. It's kind of pulled back a little bit, but I mean, come on, is anybody really complaining about Jasmine up about roughly 18% for the week? We are now back into the fours, 0.004. I was so glad that, I basically bought bottom. Shout out to Mr. Mike Cornwell, sent me a text late at night. Hey, Max, like this could be the bottom. And I was like, I think you're right. And basically backed up the truck. So some people, did the same thing. Shout out to you as well. Another thing that we cover here, maybe doesn't get a lot of focus, but proof of liquidity did have a rebound. It went from 0.008 it's back up to over a penny, 18% up. Nexera, another thing that we obviously cover here at CTN, up about 18% on the week. So not too shabby on some of those. But yes, let's get back into this article. And like it says, what is the Bitcoin dominance and why is it important? Now, some people ask me this, like even on DMs. Mainly some of the newcomers. There's nothing wrong with it. If you're brand new to crypto or you've been into this thing many years, I mean, hey, nothing wrong with having a refresher, right? So Bitcoin dominance is the market capitalization of percentage of BTC as compared to the total market capitalization of the cryptocurrency industry. Now, just take that in for a moment, right? Sometimes you're getting distracted with all sorts of things. So it says a spike in this index suggests that more investors are willing to invest in BTC as opposed to altcoins like Ethereum or Ripple, among others. Now, I want to state this, right? I don't want people who are brand new to have that attitude, well, oh, really? I might as well just go all in on BTC. Hear me out on this, right? There are some people they can afford to do both, right? Where you put in, maybe you have the means necessary to buy a full Bitcoin. I hope you're not doing it necessarily like right now. I hope, some people took advantage of, under 16K a Bitcoin, right? I keep saying 12.8 for some reason. It's probably because it's quoted here so many times. People say Bitcoin's going to 12K. Anyway, what I'm talking about is during the time of FTX late last year, we saw BTC drop all the way down to 15.8, 15.799, something like that. I felt as though at the time that was the bottom, and some people said no, it's going to crash to 12K. Even as we speak, I'm sure there's somebody in the audience, and I'm fine with it, is going to say, you know what, it's still going to crash to 12K. There's always going to be that one person, but does the data support some of those things? And where I'm getting at with this is, if you are brand new to all this, that is a great question that people have on their minds. Should I put more of my focus on the altcoins? Is there a better risk to reward ratio on the altcoins compared to me just going all in on like BTC and Ethereum? My answer, and it's not financial advice, but this is obviously what I'm doing, is yes, altcoins do have the better risk to reward ratio. I can get more for my money going that route, and I'm glad I did so. I mean, yeah, I was originally invested into BTC back in 2016, and I, took a big chunk of what I made. I didn't own a full Bitcoin or anything like that, but you know what? I held that all the way to 2021, and then I used a big chunk of what I had from, the returns on that towards like Shiba Inu and stuff like that, right? And of course, I did well with SHIB, and it was part of my crypto journey. Will I repeat the same process again? No, but for me personally, altcoins all the way, right? That's why I have um, about 47 in my portfolio, 47 different projects, and so on. But like it says right here, as seen in the chart below, Bitcoin dominance has been on an uptrend since November 2022 and recently shattered through the 50% level, retesting 2-year highs. These levels were last seen, and if you weren't aware of it, back in April of 2021, marking a shift in narrative among investors. Like, all right, is the accumulation phase coming to end? And if you're brand new to this, the reason why you want to pay attention to the accumulation phase is because the next phase is the markup phase. And the markup phase is huge. You reach the run up, right? A lot of people can't predict all-time highs on things and so on, but you can have an idea based on what research you've done on certain projects, what previous all-time highs are, and so on. And if you see that things have reached those levels, and you see that BTC, for instance, may have very well reached previous all-time highs, which, by the way, is 69K, 11/11/2021. You have a broader idea of what's going to happen, right? So here's this chart right here. And, just kind of gives you representation of some of this stuff. But we're not going to focus all on this. But it says the increase in Bitcoin dominance, and let me just double check a couple settings real quick, make sure we're good, suggests that the interest has moved from risky altcoins to BTC, which is perceived as relatively safer. Like when you see, for instance, Michael Saylor on all the time, I mean, I guess you could say this pounds this home much more. How do we know some of that? I have nothing against this girl. I think she's a great young lady. I watch her show in the morning. I see some of you guys watch her show, and that basically is was it Randy Hippert from My Team Crypto, I believe it is, MTC. She recently booked a gig of having Michael, I almost said Michael Montclair, but Michael Saylor on her show. He's going everywhere. No matter how big the channel is or how small and so on, he wants to pound it home of why he's a Bitcoin max. So you know what? I guess more power to him. Am I going to sell all of my altcoins and just become a Bitcoin maxi? No, but does it feel like the market is supporting this theory or this thesis? A little bit, right? There's a little bit more in regards to this, and that is in regards to the dominance of BTC. So it says, considering the uncertainty of over global, macroeconomic conditions and crypto's regulatory landscape in the U.S., it is likely that long-term investors are buying the dip. And even right now, they are definitely buying the dip. Might not be you guys buying the dip because we see that, Bitcoin is up, 18% on the week. And, for the 24-hour chart, I think it's 4 or 5%. Why would you want to buy on big green candles for BTC? I'm not doing that. But the reality is, who's doing that? People who are aping in, hence the term aping in. What does aping in mean? Literally the opposite of what you saw in the thumbnail of DYOR. You're not doing more of your own research. You're just aping in. And ape money is basically what? It is FOMO money. And that is so just a simple reality. It's going to happen. But before I get more into this, again, I want to say smash the like. We do want to take up to a more broader base. So we're going to jump into this part for a brief moment. We will kick it back into the comments. We have an outline for you guys tonight in regards to BTC, even BSV, and it is going to bring up the topic of what's going on with regulations, all this stuff. So it's going to be a good show. But here's the main thing I think most of us are focused on, right? It's not BTC. And there's nothing wrong with, focusing on what's going on with BTC. We should definitely pay attention to, BTC dominance, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, if we're always talking about everything that's tagged here, whether it's, QNT, XRP, XLM, XDC, Jasmy, HBAR, BSV, erase to the Algo, Nexera, right? IOTA. What does this mean for you and me that follow these things and the news updates and, the use cases of distributed ledger technology, so on and so forth? Is there anything that's going to happen with it? Right. What does it mean for altcoins? So it says a spike in Bitcoin dominance could mean two things. Listen to this. Fresh capital is flowing into BTC, or the unrealized profits from altcoins are moving back to Bitcoin. Therefore, an extrapolation from these conditions could mean that investors are selling their altcoins and moving capital back to Bitcoin. Now, For me, I'm not doing this. Again, just because I see a mainstream article from FX Street doesn't mean I'm going to jump ship from all the time I've been sitting on my altcoins and accumulating, DCAing, and so on, right? All right, so it says these conditions could propel BTC higher while Ethereum as an ETH. And then it also mentions Ripple. That's a good thing, right? Litecoin and other altcoins could move sideways or slide lower. While Bitcoin dominance has risen 18% since February, altcoin dominance has shed nearly 27%. I'll say it again. Altcoin dominance has shed nearly 27%. So in recent weeks, like for instance, a great example is Jasmine. We saw it dip all the way down to 0.003 fours, maybe briefly 3.2 just for a few hours. And I myself, I loaded up during that time. Some people took advantage of that. That was, oh man, what was that? 4 Fridays ago as of tomorrow. So nonetheless, I was glad to take advantage of it. Some of you guys took advantage of it as well, right? But there's other coins or tokens that we took advantage of. IOTA at 15 cents, Algorand at 10 cents, and so on. So it says this negative correlation is likely to bode ill for altcoins in the near future. And then this is why I want to bring it to your attention, or you maybe possibly answer Mike, and that is this an extenuate or extending the time frame for the accumulation phase? I think the answer is yes, for only one reason. It may seem like I'm bouncing back and forth, but I'm not. In regards to altcoins, okay? So if it's in regards to BTC dominance and the bull run as far as that goes, that answer to me is yes, leaning towards a bull run. Altcoins, I think this is maybe towards the end of this, right? So, basically having, altcoin an extension of altcoins for the accumulation phase. But how long is this going to run out? Are we only going to have a few more months on this? Some people feel as though it's going to extend to the end of the year. But all this, of course, is definitely worth paying attention to. Because, at the end of the day, altcoins represent roughly, 19 to 20% of the overall crypto market. So there's more info here, and you're more than welcome to take a look into it, of course, which is on FX Street. But we're going to jump now back into the comments. We do have a lot more in regards to not just the Bitcoin dominance, but let's talk about like regulations. What are some of the recent things that have been mentioned? For today's outline, other than this headline, we have some news in regards to Algorand, BSV. So we're going to definitely jump into all of it here in a bit. And then we also have, of course, I believe some Jasmine that's going to wrap things up. So really appreciate you guys being here. Please smash that like. Let's kick it back into the comments. And we have next on the lineup, as far as people are here, quite a few guys came in, and I appreciate you doing that. Let me see where I'm at. So I welcome Menace before. Glad to have you back. We're going to go further down into the comments and see if we got anything specific. Max, why are you doing B. Ricky? I have no idea what you're talking about. All right. I would never do him, period. That just sounds disgusting. Anyway. All right. So the ghost says he picked up 134 or 13,400 Jasmine, unless that's a typo, on the small dip. Okay, cool stuff, man. DCAing. All right. FTP, Austin Hilton, Tambian. Wow. Okay. I want to welcome GS as well as Magic Power. Hello, guten Tag, Liechtenstein Exchange. Just me in the house. Thank you guys for being here. So that was a typo. Okay, you picked up 134,000. Nice. Anything over 100,000 is very, very impressive. Let's be honest. But we all have different goals, and that's totally fine. Also want to welcome XXI Gaming, the king of Madden. Anyway, I don't know if you really are, but you are, as far as I'm concerned. Glad to have you here, Mr. XXI. Let's see how we're doing on these likes. Up to 32. I do appreciate it. We got 39 people here. And let's see where we're at. This is Crypto Jedi. Welcome again. No FTP, Satoshi Kusama. He will make a lot of money from Shibarium. Interesting. All right. Samo Fuzz in the house. He says, Cryptomania. Is it going to be WrestleMania and not going to be WrestleMania? It's going to be a good balance. I am going to try to stick to like maybe around the 2 hour time frame, and then after that, like, I just read the rest of the comments, and then we wrap things up after that. But I just think that'd be a lot better for me to start doing those types of things, because 5-hour shows all the time. I mean, who's really benefiting from it? It's just like, it's extra work for me. People falling asleep with me on the TV set. That's just kind of weird. But anyway, all right. XXI Gaming says, missed that bottom in Jasmine, but will continue to buy. Oh, no worries. You probably bought more Stratos, right? STOS, man. I can't blame you. I was very tempted to get into that. It's still on my radar. So I just want to throw that out there. But for me, I think now my new short list, as far as ones I'm not into, I just want to throw this out there. It's not financial advice. It is basically Caspa, and it's also Stratos. And then if I see Flux pull back to some of the prices, maybe, I don't know, with the momentum we're getting with things looking bullish, I don't know, maybe I missed the whole thing of 39 cents on Flux. But anyway, those are some of the ones I still feel as though I need to get into. But there's other ones too. I still don't own any DAG. I think DAG's going to be great. Energy Web Token, things like that. So yeah. All right. Aussie Life is in the house. Glad to have you here. Thank you. And we'll read a couple more comments before we will get back into the outline. I'm just trying to see if anybody has a specific question or anything like that. Crypto Jedi has a comment. Satoshi Kisama is leaving the project once Shibarium is released. So he's going to pull Ryoshi. So who is going to be the main big fish to get things going? That's interesting. Satoshi can leave, but Milkshake will stay. But why? Because it's going to bring all the Shib boys to the yard, and they're going to be like, my Shib is better than yours or something. I don't know. That sounds bad. Stump Rider, welcome back. Glad to have you back. Also, Mr. Lambo's Crypto Talk. All right, just going to read one more question. What happened to Crypto Latina? You saw that post that she's recovering and is in therapy. Que paso? Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, just because I'm not in Volt anymore doesn't mean I don't care about people about the community. So, interesting. Hope she's okay. I mean, was it car accident or what was it? Hold on. I don't know. All right, Crypto Homes is also here. Let's use that as a bookmark. Let's kick it back to what we have. We're gonna now kick it into Algorand. Give me just a second. So I got a couple messages. Let me see here. All right. So yeah, we're kicking to Algorand. Here's something nuisance. What the heck? New info. Talking too fast today, All right. So here's some new news. We posted 12 hours ago. Okay. So this is big info in regards to Algorand. So if you hold Algorand, smash that like, because this is new, right? We all want to know about something new, especially with Algo. So major protocol upgrade unleashes 3.3 second transaction finality on Algorand and incorporates key new features for streamlining application development. Now, we are going to take you to the press wire news release in a bit, but we want to continue this thread. So check us out. It says today's protocol upgrade reduces block time to roughly 3.3 seconds. That's so impressive. Like a lot of times we see with like Ripple's XRP, a perfect example was back in 2017. I always use this example. You see Ashton Kutcher, he sends like $7 million to Ellen DeGeneres' charity, and that happened in 3 seconds flat. So, I mean, for this to be right up there with the likes of Ripple, that's pretty darn impressive. I mean, I understand that, like Hedera's just smashes this out of the park, but it is Algorand, and I'm proud to hold this. This is part of my top 10 portfolio, Algorand. In my opinion, it's the second greenest of these DLTs, right? Right behind Hedera. But look at this in regards to what we just mentioned with the 3.3 seconds. So more than 10% increase in speed, not too shabby. Maintain instant transaction finality. Of course, you can read more about this performance enhancement if you want to nerd it out. Most of you guys don't, and that's okay. Let's jump down to this part. Algorand's technical release also introduces several game-changing improvements for developers, such as group resource sharing, dev timestamp control, new Algod endpoints. What a name, Algod, and more. You can view more on that if you want. Again, it's kind of the technical stuff to nerd it out. In addition, To that, some of the latest features available to builders on Algorand include Simulate, which is a powerful simulator for smart contracts. There's more info about that. I don't feel like nerding out on that, but and then this part, Conduit, a new tool for flexible and lightweight data access. To round things off on this thread, it says you can learn more tuning into the next proof of stake. Funny how that's mentioned there. Live stream hosted by Algo devs. And if you are the type of nerd that's interested in some of the stuff, it will be on June 28th, hosted by Ryan Fox of Algorand, and also this person who's Ann Algo, as well as some of these other people who are featured here. Now, I want to take you to the actual thread, or not thread, but the PR Newswire. This is pretty good to check out in itself, right? I mean, why not? So I already reviewed a lot of this is here, so I'm not going to get into every single part, but there's a full outline on why this is important. And like it says right here, posted literally today from Boston, Massachusetts. Algorand, the proof of stake layer 1 blockchain network, continues to deliver the advanced technology required to power real-world applications. How so? With its latest protocol upgrade that unleashes faster block times as well as other industry-leading improvements. But according to Gary Gensler, this is security, right? Everything's a freaking security according to him. But in regards to the upgrade, it's now on the live mainnet. If you're wondering about that, we talked about how this reduces the block time to 3.3 seconds. That's pretty cool stuff, right? 10% upgrade and so on. This part right here, though, it says, this week, the industry-leading protocol also celebrates the 4-year anniversary of Algorand mainnet and is on its track to record its 30 millionth block. That's impressive in itself, too. Underpinning these achievements is the recognition that Algorand has experienced zero downtime since it went live in 2019. So unlike what, guys? Unlike Solana. Sorry if you hold Solana. I have nothing against it. I'm just saying that's one of the complaints about Solana. There's more about this technical release. It's been getting some good feedback, right? All positive things, especially if you hold Algo. We did talk briefly about, the simulation and so on, right? But we are going to mention it for a brief moment because it has to do with smart contracts. So this thing called Simulate allows developers to rigorously test, identify, and rectify any issues ahead of deploying to mainnet. I mean, my thing is this, people know that I have a gaming background and so on. Kind of like the same concept, you test things out in either alpha or beta and so on. You find out what bugs are reported from those beta testers and so on. And then you go from there before you release it to the general public. I would expect that from a blockchain, right? That makes sense. Simulate also enables highly versatile reading of blockchain data, offering developers a clear and customizable view into the blockchain. Of course, there's more info. You want to nerd it out. There's new developer capabilities. I'm not getting into that because most of us, let's face it, aren't devs. But this part right here about Conduit, it's a new tool for flexible and lightweight data access. Now, here at CTN, we always talk about data. Jasmine, yesterday, especially Casper, right? I think one of the key things that makes maybe our channel stand out is just we cover a lot of projects that are heavy into data. As we know, data is the new oil, right? So it says this tech enables developers to run their own data solutions, accessing their specific data needs in a simple, flexible, affordable manner. And of course, if you want more about that, you can look into it. I'll read this quote. We'll move on from this and kick it back into the comments. Here's this quote. We are, all right, hyper-focused on Algorand, providing the best tech for developers to engage with and end users to experience, said Paul Regal, who's the Chief Product Officer at Algo. Through these new capabilities, builders can get higher quality dApps to market faster through customized data sets and faster and more efficient testing. Now, I want to state this for just the record. As you guys know, I have an annual subscription to Investor Place. I did sit in on a recorded, or maybe it was live recorded, I should say, video of Charlie Shrem, who heads up Investor Place. And one of the areas of focus that he mentioned was pay attention to projects that have, of course, real world utility, some of these altcoins and so on. Didn't specifically mention Algorand, but he said that what's really going to shine in the next boom cycle are projects that have, for instance, a lot going on with dApps. dApps should really, really shine by the end of 2023. When I see things mentioned here in regards to algo for this, for more efficient testing and so on, this tells me that yes, they might not get a lot of traction or a lot of like, oh my God, this is not trending like a lot of degen stuff. But the cool thing is this, I like the idea of seeing projects build, especially back in the bear market, and see where they're going now. Remember all the complaints about quant recently? Oh, there hasn't been much press about quant. Okay, understand this. Sometimes when you hear nothing from a project, it means they're building. And it also means they're doing some impressive stuff. And I think that in itself speaks for itself. Again, another perfect example is Algo. So I'm going to kick it back to the comments right now. I was glad to share that with you guys. We do have a little bit more Algo for you. When we come back, it's a 5-minute video. Pretty cool stuff. And then from there, we'll go right into BSV. Appreciate you guys being here tonight. Please smash that like button. If you're brand new to CTN, our channel, Crypto Talk Now, if you're new to crypto or you've been here for many years, whatever the case be, don't feel bashful. Any questions or comments are more than welcomed. And thank you again for taking the time to join us on this wonderful Thursday evening. All right, let's see here. Here is a good comment, and it's from Magic Power. He says Bitcoin dominance of over 50% was not caused by spot buying, but by futures, which were not yet big buying by institutional. Thank you. That's some good info right there. All right. Someone Fuzz says, meme fi to fum. I smell the blood of a fuddy one. That's funny. Someone's got the best rhymes in all of the crypto space. Thank you, Mr. Selmo Fudd. Ozman Beard Co. N, who I believe has a, man, is that a Evo Lancer? If that is the case, that's a nice card, man. I like your card. He states, what's your price prediction for Nexera? I don't really have a price prediction right now for Nexera because a lot of this stuff isn't financial advice, but I will state this. I am with kind of like what Tim Shea was saying in the past. I think there's a lot of potential with Nexera. I will agree also with Richard Common Sense Crypto. If you own QNT, it kind of makes sense to also own Nexera. I mean, they have partnerships and so on. Some people feel as though Nexera is the better opportunity in the long run, just from a market cap perspective. But I'll state this for the record. I think it's a heck of a lot higher than a 10x. I don't want to just go off and say it's just an easy 100x. Like, is it going to happen within, the next or at the end of the year? No, I don't think that's the case. But at the height of, like, for instance, like a utility run, I'll be more than glad that I accumulated Nexera multiple times, during this last accumulation phase and so on. So if you've been paying attention to Nexera closely and you're very impressed with some of the recent partnerships or use cases, you name it, and so on, that true bridge from TradeFi to DeFi, and you're like blown away with that, then you know what, the research speaks more highly than anything that negative that's happened in the past, especially when it went from ALBT to Nexera and so on. I honestly think that's in the rear view, and as we get more and more momentum, let's face it, especially with BTC dominance and so on, I think the narrative will shift. Altcoins will have their moment, like what you saw earlier that was reported. We will go from the stage of, okay, now it's not just BTC dominance. Look what's happening with the altcoins because of regulations, right? Proper regulations coming in. That's where altcoins will probably start blasting off. Let's just be honest about that. But currently speaking, I'm not complaining because you know what? It's kind of like a great star player. I'm gonna use this reference, like in an NBA Finals game, putting his team on his back. Like right now, BTC is putting the crypto market on his back. I'm rooting for that. Currently speaking, why wouldn't I root for that? If BTC does well, guess what? Some of my altcoins are going to do well, and we know that. Jasmine, some of these other ones we cover, and so on. So, it's a big win. Just like people who aren't invested into Ripple, XRP. Ripple winning that case against the SEC is a win for crypto, even if you don't hold these things. So we're all going to pay attention to all these things. Just today, that was one of the key headlines, BTC dominance and so on. All right, I'm gonna get back into the comments because a lot of comments came in, which is good stuff. But yeah, welcome Osman, glad to have you here. Magic Power's got a lot of comments today. That's good, man. That means that it's not that far yet, but that there will be, low prices and crashes, not to mention the upcoming recession. All right. Aussie Life says he'll be happy to pick up some more XRP cheaper. Yeah, I mean, we could pull up some of this stuff real quick, right? I mean, let's see what's going on with some of the stuff, right? So XRP, you know me. Thank you to everybody who did smash a like. I saw we were now in the 50s. Please, if you just connected, smash a like. It's free, don't cost you anything. Maybe we can get this out to a more broader base. So, as we know, XRP is part of the top 100 or top 10. On top of that, you have I don't know, it was kind of a pullback. It's no longer in the 50-cent range, but it's just about right. Some people might want to wait until it's like 46 cents. I get it, right? But whatever the case be, I mean, I'll tell you this much: if we are to believe that this is going to stay at the 50-cent range, and the Ripple win is right around the corner, and it did happen, I think the days of 50 cents are obviously gone. It's going to be a lot more higher than that. Some people stated that it's going to be $10 or more. Hey, I'm not a fortune teller, but the way I look at it is that makes sense. So I'm going to keep that up on the screen for a bit. Brian, it's an acronym for, you guys talking to each other. That's good stuff. All right. Let me get further down into the comments. I like this comment from someone for 2 trillion crypto market cap coming. Yeah, I'm totally cool with that. And then some, right? Brian Dowie says, yes, I learned so much on CTN. Thanks. I think you guys are joking around. That's okay. Stargazer, you're welcome back. He says, hi all. Yeah, Max has put me to sleep many times. Yeah, I know you guys don't mean in a bad way, but I was thinking about that. I was just like, what's the point? Like I got to utilize my time better. I don't want to be burned out. And this week has been a very burned out week. So that's okay. All right. The Aussie Life, your pronunciation of Japanese names need more accent, Max. Oh, geez. Yeah, what do you guys want me to do? Welcome to Crypto Talk Now. I am Sensei Maximilian San. Wait, on today's show, we're going to show you Mr. Hibachi-san, Kunataki Ando, featured with the one, the only Steve Jobs. I mean, come on. I mean, I can only do that voice for so long. I'm about to cough. Anyway, some people don't like me doing that voice, and it's okay. All right. Brian, if they offer you puto in the Philippines, it's okay. I have a box of that stuff in the pantry. I'll have to show you guys on camera sometime. All right. Magic Powers got a lot of comments. This is good. This year is a preparatory year. Everything is preparing states, banks, cryptos, companies, etc., preparing for the big applications and mass adoption. Yeah. I mean, Magic Power, honestly, what year do you feel as though we're going to see the true all-time highs that we should pay attention to? Is it 2024, or do you think it's 2025? Or maybe you're not even with that. You're like, it's not either one. It's 2026. For me, it's 2025. I feel like it's 2025. There might be a few projects where it's 2026, but for me, I feel as though, like, for the most part, 2025. All right. We can agree to disagree on that. All right. Am I gay? No. Do I sound gay to you? I mean, did I come on camera and be like, hi, Ali Alwood. How are you? Welcome to Crypto Talk Now. Oh my gosh. You don't have an avatar, silly. What are you doing? You're probably buying lots of Mononoke Inu. Oh my gosh. It's on sale right now. It's at like 0.000000 with like 69.69. Oh my gosh, silly. What is wrong with you? No. All right, let's go further down into the comments. Brian Dow at Cancun in the late 90s and early 2000s was lit. Never been to Cancun. Been to Puerto Penasco, been to Tijuana, and unfortunately, been to Juarez. Don't ever go to Juarez. All right. Legrand Commission is back. He says we are one day closer to the bull run, or in his unofficial French voice, we are one day closer to the bull run. Legrand Commission. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. All right, I'm gonna double check the other screen, make sure I didn't miss anything, and let's see where we're at. Well, I don't know, just some of the questions. I mean, like, who does that? Unless you're like a troll or something like that. I mean, like, what if this guy is like, I don't know, no offense to people who are like from the South or anything, like, well, what do you want to, what do you want to do today, Bill? Where you say we go down to the Dunkin' Donut, get ourselves some glazed donut, have ourselves a little donut picnic, then use our cell phone and ask this guy named Maximus if he's gay. That sounds like a plan to me. Forget the overall crypto market cap and things that are going on in this world. We're just going to throw this guy and ask if he's gay. And what the heck? Anyway, nothing against gay people, but, some people come out of left field. It's all right. Welcome to the one and only. I was wondering what happened to you earlier, Mr. Boomer Effing Sooner. I imagine when I say Boomer Effing Sooner, your dog's ears just kind of perk up when that happens. All right? All right. Sup, Boomer. Max has been skipping my comments again. I know. I've been skipping all of them on purpose. Shame on me. Such a horrible host. I'm the hostess with the mostest. I'm a gay host. All right. Let's go further down. Legrand Commission put the black in Blackwood. Look at that. Look at that. The black in Blackwood. All right. Crypto Jedi. He went to the Fisherman's Wharf or Ward like 20 years ago. Or Wharf. It's the Wharf. It's great seafood. But here's the thing, man. It is a tourist trap. And how about this for the record, guys? Never rent a car or park your car in downtown San Francisco. You are going to get absolutely just gouged, right, on the parking. Walk around San Francisco, take the trolleys and stuff like that. Enjoy the city. Oh, you would know, Max, because you're absolutely, absolutely gay. Why don't you make a gay NFT of yourself? That might be a good idea. I'll do a 1-for-1. All right. I'm kidding. All right. GF Burke, welcome back, Mr. Voot. We talked about you earlier, Burke, in regards to Caspa under 2 cents. I was thinking, like I saw your post. You're like, well, it was like up 17%. Like, this is not going to happen. The price levels max once. I get what you're saying. Yep. I still hold it too. And you know what? I mean, if we get one last pullback, there's going to be a few that I consider, DCAing in one last time. And there's, of course, going to be a few that I just, say, hey, maybe I finally get into, Energy Web Token, DAG, some of these other ones. One thing I was going to ask you guys, show of hands. Are any of you guys into A0, Alpha Zero? All right. That's something I keep seeing popping up every once in a while. And I haven't forgotten doing a deep dive in regards to Render and a couple other ones. It's still on my list. I got to do a second follow-up on ICP as well. Glenn Anderson, welcome back. Is the USA protecting their citizens from getting wrecked by not allowing them to buy XRP? That's a good question, but I don't know about the grander conspiracy. Honestly, in the USA, I think there's a lot of players that just don't understand the concept of blockchain or distributed ledger technologies and so on. Hold on a second. All right, sorry about that. We're gonna reach just a couple more comments. It really sucks having to create a new Twitter, number 20. That sucks, man. Quant Papa, free Quant Papa, right? All the research he done, he said over 3,000 hours worth of research just to have it banned. And he thinks, or he says it's 100% chance. I don't know. We all don't know. Nothing against him. that he thinks it's like Augustine from Bank of International Settlements or something, right? It's like, come on. It's supposed to be free speech on Twitter, and he gets canceled for impersonation. Impersonating what? Like, there's nothing to impersonate. All right, we're going to use Brian Dowie's comment as a bookmark. I'm going to go to the other channel or page. Tim Shea says, Max, I had A0 a while ago. Sold it for some reason. I keep seeing it, and I just need to find out a little bit more about it just for the heck of it. It's kind of like an itch that needs to be scratched. I don't know. It might be the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know. I do definitely see it pop up. Like, some people will, mention like a whole bunch of things that are part of their utility portfolio, like QNT, XRP, XLM, the typical ones and so on. And then it's like, boom, A0. And it's like, what is this A0? So it's just kind of an itch that needs to be scratched, which is fun. All right. Yeah. Welcome to Glenn. I'll say it, Max. Nexera could 100x or more. Yeah, that's fine, man. I mean, the way I look at it, like, you probably are right. But my thing is, I'm not willing to say that, like, I'm going to pick Nexera over Quant, but I do agree that if you hold one, you should hold the other. Just kind of like if you hold XRP, you should hold XLM. That's just my opinion. Some of you guys, I know who you are. I know who you are. Right. Okay. Crypto Jedi. I heard there are great Chinese food restaurants in San Francisco. There is. It's literally the second best I ever had. Overall, if I had to compare San Francisco, Chinatown to LA, I think it takes the cake. But LA's also got amazing Chinese food too, which Crypto Jedi knows about. 1000x. Nothing wrong with saying that. All right. The Navy says they detected that the submersible actually imploded on Sunday. Oh, I have to catch up on some of this stuff. I saw some news about a lot of this recently, but I need to catch up a little bit more. I'm going to read this from Dave O, and we'll kick it back to the outline. Japan leading the way for crypto regulation. Will be interesting to see what the SEC does going forward. How about this from Selma as well? Those 6 trillion ETFs of BTC are 10 trillion to 15 trillion to add to the market cap. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, man. It's just like when we talk about institutional money coming in because we need clarity, and then you get a hint of what is to come with the BlackRocks or the Fidelities or some of these other ones, right? So, all right, we're going to jump back to what we have. We're going to finish things off for Algorand. This is a 5-minute video. For the newcomers, they're wondering about Algorand and so on. This is Algorand Blockchain Core Protocol Overview. It's only about 5 minutes, but it's very, very, I don't know, it keeps you engaged. So a lot of you guys haven't seen this. If you're old school, you have seen this. Let's go ahead and play this. Here we go. Please smash that like. If you haven't done so already, we don't exactly ask for super chats. If people do that, hey, that's cool. But what we do ask is for the likes, because we want to get this broadcast out to a broader base. Our channel is about, news, education, some entertainment, obviously. But I can't thank you guys enough for being here with us tonight on this wonderful Thursday for some crypto talk now. All right. I'm just going to pull off another banner just for it can look a little bit nicer. Here we go. Straight from the Algorand Foundation. There we go.
Blockchain technology was created to enable economic systems where borderless transactions can be achieved without the need for a central authority. But without these, how do users agree on which transactions should be written to the blockchain? How do they come to consensus? Algorand securely and efficiently achieves consensus in a fully decentralized network, as long as the supermajority of honest users agree on what should be added to the chain. Users participate in consensus through participation nodes, and nodes submit users' votes to the network. Algorand ties the security of the whole economy to the honesty of the majority of the economy, unlike other protocols, which tie it to a small subset of their economy, such as miners or delegates. In Algorand, it's impossible for the owners of a small fraction of the stake to harm the whole system. And it would be foolish for the owners of the majority of the stake to misbehave, as it would diminish the network overall. Algorand's consensus protocol is based on our unique approach that we call pure proof of stake. Users are selected to participate in consensus based on their stake, or the number of tokens they own. It's similar to a lottery, with each token representing a lottery spin. The more tokens a user has, the better chance they have of winning the lottery and being selected. This method is used to select which users propose and vote on a block, as well as how many votes a user gets, one per lottery win, in the voting process to approve a block. Users are selected to participate with a verifiable random function, or VRF, which acts similar to the lottery. This function can be executed on any node for any user and allows the selected user to prove their selection or their winning lottery to the network with a cryptographically signed proof that gets propagated to every participating node. For each round of the protocol, a unique set of users is randomly and privately selected, independent of earlier sets. This selection process is very fast, as it does not require any collaboration among nodes. Therefore, the addition of nodes does not slow the process down. It's also very secure. An adversary does not know who matters in generating the next block, and therefore should be corrupted until after a selected user participates. And by the time an adversary realizes that a user is selected, it is too late for them to benefit from an attack. The user has already sent their message and fulfilled their responsibility in the protocol. So here's how consensus is achieved and a block is written to the blockchain. When Alice sends a transaction to Bob, it's submitted to a node in the Algorand network and placed in a queue with other transactions. These transactions are propagated to all the nodes in the network. Every node then executes the VRF, or plays the lottery, for every participating user for essentially every token they own. If a user on a node gets selected, that node selects a group of transactions from its queue to put into a block and propagates the block, along with its VRF proof, to other nodes in the network. Other nodes in the network will propagate blocks as well. As each node receives this block, it will hold it as the primary block proposal. If it receives multiple blocks, it will compare the VRF proof of each and only keep and propagate the one with the lowest proof. Eventually, only one block proposal will remain. To verify agreement on the current block proposal, another VRF, or lottery, is executed for every participating user in the network to select a group of users to vote on this proposal. Their voting power is determined by how many times they win the lottery. This committee of users then propagates votes for the block proposal to the network. Every node in the network accumulates these votes, and when a supermajority vote of the committee is reached for a proposal, it is considered the block to be certified. The VRF is executed a third time to select a group of users to certify the selected block. Again, their voting power is determined by how many times they win the lottery. The newly chosen committee then votes to certify the block. These votes are propagated to the network and accumulated by each node. Once a supermajority of votes are accumulated, the block is written to the blockchain. This whole process takes less than 5 seconds. Alice's transaction to Bob is finalized, and the process begins again.
The educational side of Algorand. Max, you said earlier that you didn't want to nerd it out. Well, that particular part has a visual and a video, right? It's not just me reading a bunch of things verbatim. So, some people think they know about, Algorand and so on, but, whether you saw that 4 or 5 years ago, it's a nice interactive video. All right. I'll read a few more comments, and then after that, I think we're going to get into some BSV because it's worth getting into. You may be wondering, why is it worth getting into? I'll give you this little snippet. It's regards to U.S. and EU authorities deliberating on blockchain and crypto asset regulation to safeguard investors from malicious entities. So good stuff. All right. And it comes from the Bitcoin Association for BSV. All right. We're going to get into a few more comments. And Crypto Chat says Jasmy 50x. I feel like it's going to be a heck of a lot more than that, my friend, but I hear you. Alex Chavez, when Lambo. When we finish going through that long marathon, this race, not this sprint, this race, fourth boom cycle. I think when we get to that. And then, of course, for people that just want to top it off even that much more, for the real true generational wealth, the utility run. All right. When moon? Well, you got some of the answers for that. GF Burke, your next entry a cash for 0.0224. Okay. Thanks for the heads up, Burke. Let's see here. Let's go further down. You might grab some. That's cool. Are you ready into it, or are you just you're looking to DCA, Tim? All right. Let's see what else we got. Oh, about the, yeah, I know what you're talking about. The San Francisco. You're not wild on that voice? Okay. I remember it. Now I got 3 complaints. One is, Max, I don't like when you do the whole World Economic Forum. Stop acting like, Mr. Klaus Schwab at the Liechtenstein Exchange. And I don't like the other one for the Jasmine, it's just me in the house. And I especially don't like them. Hi, welcome to Fisherman's Wharf. Okay, I get it. All right, look, Grand Commission. People will pay $5 per XRP after they win the case. Why wait 48 cents now? That's true. I already hit my goals on XRP. At this point, it's just, as the saying goes, gravy. But I agree. And people ape in, just like they vaped into BTC at 69K. I mean, I wouldn't want to be that guy that's admitting to that, but I mean, it's a reality. There's plenty of people that bought into BTC at 69K because everybody else is doing it. I might as well do it too. Yeah, the cucumber. You like that, huh? Yep. Like I said, I got nothing against people, but the guy did ask me if I was gay, and no, the answer is no. But maybe with happiness, is some of Fudd would say. All right, Mr. Fudd says at 6:49, after that switch is flipped, say goodbye to bull runs as we know it, and bring on that bull market. Right, because the utility run. Okay, coming up. I think you and Mike Cornwell feel the same about that. All right, maybe a few more ones. From Selmo. Max is always happy and gay every day. Okay, that's right. As I spray from far away, have everybody hit the DECK. My flow bro's remarkable. Peace to Mateo. Who's that from? You know it's from Biggie Smalls, but with a kind of a messed up accent. Anyway, Menace, I'm thinking your comedy might be as good as your crypto analysis. Yeah, we used to do more of the comedy about a year ago on the the early days of CTN. But then we started getting a little bit more serious. But if you want just nonstop, like not serious, that's when Larry comes back on. Shout out to Larry. He'll give you all sorts of unnecessary dating advice. And then we'll have this guy in the channel, Mr. Brian Dowie, who will point out how many bidets he owns. It's like in Crocodile Dundee too. Was it for cleaning your backside, right? Yeah, that's obviously what it's used for. Anyway, yeah, you got to have some fun. Solid question. Ask Archie Bunker that question. Okay. See, Magic Power likes to keep it serious. Let's come back to being serious. So he says, if no economic crisis happen, the bull run top will be reached between April and October of 2025. The next bear market bottom is predicted for October 2026. Interesting. How about this? Legrand Commission, if you're still here, I'm looking into the camera, Legrand, whether you're watching on your computer or your phone or whatever, paging the Grand Commission. Oui, merci beaucoup. Do you agree with this, Legrand, or do you have it at a different particular time frame? Or you feel as though that most people feel as though that this is the time frame? For me, I kind of lean towards that. I think I actually probably will go with this. That's me. Some people said, 2024, 2025. I think he's right on this because bear market and so on, right? But what about this? If we get proper regulations in place and so on, and like people said, a utility run, then how could there ever really be a true bottom? And if so, is that the bottom for what's left over? And will 99% of this stuff go away? I don't know. People don't like talking about some of this stuff. It's like, in a way, it's kind of taboo. We talk about it, but it's like, in a way, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of taboo in a way. I don't know. I mean, it's something that not everybody can agree on. And I forgot who asked me if I was gay earlier. If it was you, Herbert Ferguson, it's okay. I don't know who asked me that earlier. It's okay. It won't be the first time somebody's, asked me a question like that. Not that people walk around town and be like, hi, Max, are you gay? I mean, like, no, but who does that, Hello, sir. Welcome to the International House of Pancakes. Are you gay? No, I'm here to order your earlier bird special. Ooh, you said early bird. Well, with that said, we got the lunch special for $1.99. Like, wow, really? In this day and age? You get what I'm saying? It's just kind of odd. Like, not normally, usually it's like, hey, how's it going? Let's talk about the market and so on, instead of, hey, dude, are you gay? I mean, it's just kind of an odd greeting, might go get, tailored for a new suit, Do you prefer a pinstripe suit or you prefer just, a straight color? What do you mean by straight color? Are you gay? I mean, like, what the hell, man? Anyway, all right, enough about that. All right, that's a shame, Brian. Max, be better. Burke, looks like it was pumping on MEXC just now. Okay, fair enough. All right, we're going to kick it into what we have on the other screen. I think we're good. I might get into Larry impersonation later. Excuse me. Going to read maybe a couple more comments. All right, Legrand Commission says, question to the OGs. Now, this is at 6:55, so not that long ago. How do you kill a cat that has 16 lives? How do you kill a cat that has 16 lives? I thought a cat only had 9 lives. Interesting. I have to go back down to this. Does anybody have the answer to this? Legrand says he has plenty of XRP, XLM, but very little XDC. Well, at least you're honest about it. Is there any reason for that? You just kind of like, I want to wait for a pullback, or I don't know. All right. Does anybody have this answer to Legrand's question? No, that's going to make me wonder. All right, here's a question, and then we will kick it back to our outline. Crypto Jedi says, on the next paycheck, he must decide. Ooh, listen to this. Like he's going to word it like Yoda. On my next paycheck, I must decide. Should I buy more shares? I can't do the Yoda voice anyway. Or Algorand. But if QNT is at $100, he's buying, or is less, right? And we did see it be less. Yeah, what happened with the cat thing? Do we get an answer to this? Where's the answer? What's Algo's utility? We in the video explained some of the utility, but there's a lot more to it than just, they don't have just one layer of utility. Glenn Anderson, I don't own any Algorand, can't own them all. Yeah, I mean, that's like I mentioned to some people. I mean, there's nothing wrong with just focusing on what you have and stacking more on that because you've already done the research on some of those things. That's kind of like where I'm at. Like, as much as I want Energy Web Token and DAG, I don't know, a few of these other ones, Stratos, I forgot what, I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. Flux, right, can't own them all. I literally added up one day all the ones, like I said, yesterday's show, right, of like technically owning all the ones that I feel as though would be great. And it's literally anywhere from 25 to 28 grand extra. Man, if I do that, then I'll be over 100K into crypto. And I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, maybe someday after I already made it big time. But right now, is it really even necessary? I don't think so. Some people say, I don't think it's necessary all that you already put into crypto, Max. And I probably have to agree with them. You don't own Algo either. That's all right. I mean, it's something that we thought we would cover more often. All right. I want to welcome this guy, and I got to do it, and then we'll kick it into the lineup. Hello. Is it Menelek you're looking for? Wait for it. Wait for it. Lionel Richie. Thank you for being here, Mr. Menelect. Only he gets that type of, greeting. Well, there is Boomer F and Sooner, but anyway. All right, let's get back into what we have. And let's get into this whole thing from Bitcoin Association, BSV. So here it is. And let me actually come back in the frame. My bad. Always does that once in a while. All right, there we go. Back into the frame. So you may be wondering why put some emphasis on it. Well, here's why. Okay, so this is recent news. It was on the 20th. U.S. and European Union authorities deliberating on blockchain and crypto asset regulation. And like it says, to safeguard investors from malicious entities, right? Wherever we're going to get the clarity, these things have to come to fruition. So, B.W. Doherty, as in Brian Doherty, right, stresses the need for balanced regulations to legitimize blockchain, protect consumers, and foster global innovation. Now, a few months back, remember we highlighted how he went to the New York State Senate and was talking about regulations and so on in a state that, let's face it, is very, very anti-crypto, right? Again, like if you can get people who can, come across the aisle and talk to some of these people that don't want to hear it, that's big. So why not him, right? That's the way I look at it. I mean, again, yeah, why not him? All right. So in regards to him, okay, here is this brief article. I'm not going to get into every single part of it. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Oh, boy. All right. I think I'm good. But it does come from a blockchain, BSV blockchain, like it says right here, from the actual site's bsvblockchain.org. And here comes another sneeze. Excuse me. And it says basically what to expect from Bitcoin and blockchain regulation going forward. Again, published on June 20th. But Brian Doherty, Global Public Policy Director for BSV Blockchain Association, aka BSV, emphasized the importance of regulation in legitimizing blockchain tech. And I'm just double checking that I'm not muted because that would suck. All right. It says rather than regulating the technology itself, the focus should be on regulating the use cases and applications built on a blockchain. Maybe some people agree with that. Maybe they don't. My thing is like, it's like I don't want to regulate so much of the tech. I want to, how should I say it? I mean, there's some things that make sense and some things that don't go inside. But anyway, it says clear and well thought out regulations can drive blockchain adoption, right? And prevent uncertainty from deterring businesses and governments. Well, how so? All right, there's a little bit more. So it says collaboration between regulators, technologists, businesses, and stakeholders is necessary to create the regulatory framework. I've stated numerous times that I feel as though the regulatory framework is literally there with DFFT, data free flow of trust, but maybe people are tired of me saying that. But there's got to be obviously a little bit more to it than just that. I guess I'm on par with that. So it says basically that framework that fosters innovation while protecting consumers and maintaining financial system integrity, compliance with data protection, financial and industry specific regulations is essential, especially for blockchain applications dealing with finance and sensitive data. But the key thing here is data, right? And of course, how many projects that we cover that, are specifically involved with data? It's not just Jasmine. Right? We got Casper, we have a few others. Regulations should be flexible. It should be. You can't just be like a one-size-fits-all approach. To keep up the technological advancements in a principles-based approach can provide the necessary flexibility. There's a lot more to it than just this, right? So let's get into this whole part about, like the U.S. and the European Union, okay? So it says blockchain and crypto asset regulation is an important topic right now. It is, and I'm glad that it is. It feels like this is 2 years overdue at this point. Maybe some people feel it's 3 or 4 years overdue. But where the case is, I mean, for me, I could definitely remember when I first got into crypto and this was something that was being mentioned. And it's just like, it just seems like it's just taking forever. So the authorities in the United States and European Union are discussing how best to protect investors from bad actors. Well, who though, right? We obviously have, I'm just going to throw out some names, right? You have Tom Emmer and you have some of these other guys that seem like they're big proponents who understand blockchain innovation. Warren Davison, there's many others, right? But it says while this is a difficult process, it is ultimately necessary in helping legitimize blockchain as the tech. Listen to this, guys. For the future. If we talk about Web3, I mean, technically, we're not fully into Web3. I mean, just because you hear Web3 a lot, we're not fully into it. Just like when I talk about Society 5.0 for Japan and so on, we're not in Society 5.0. There's not smart cities everywhere, right? In reality, we're like in Society 4.5, at least there. Here, no way, right? Like, United States of America probably is never going to do a proper smart city. Maybe I'm wrong. I just don't see that happening. It's just totally different culture. I just don't see that happening. One side is going to make a big fuss about it, right? I'm not saying like I'm a proponent for it or against it. I understand there's certain cities or certain cultures or certain places in the world where some of this stuff makes sense. But look at this. This is the view of Brian Doherty, right? And why pay attention to him? Because he is one of the top dogs over at BSV, okay, Bitcoin Association. So this global public policy director, like I mentioned, for BSV, he was recently speaking in an interview with the Evening Standard. Now, watch or look at this quote. As the public policy director of the BSV blockchain, my perspective on regulation and compliance aligns with an understanding that is critical for the growth and development of the blockchain ecosystem. Firstly, it's important to remember that blockchain tech, like any other, is not beyond the scope of regulation. Right? It's not. Rather than regulating the technology itself, it's the use cases and applications built on the technology that should be the focus of regulatory efforts. I mean, I'm not, I always looked at, there's certain things that make sense and certain things that don't. It's just like, I don't know, maybe people get offended me saying this, if I own a shotgun or a rifle or whatever, right? It's just like, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Shane, right? There's a famous old quote. It's just like, it's a tool, for crying out loud. It's just like, it's no better, it's no good or bad as the person, it should be any good or bad as the person using it, right? It's just like, we look at stocks with, Bernie Madoff and so on. He was a bad player. Are people going to stop investing in stocks? Well, maybe some people did. But the overall general consensus of people out there, they're not just going to stop investing in stocks. Just for the same reason that people should just like stop investing in cryptocurrencies because there's a bad player such as, Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX or Do Kwon of Terra Luna or what's his name from, Celsius and so on. Was it Machinsky? I don't know. I forgot his name. I can't even recall it off the top of my head. But Doherty added that clear and well thought out regulation can help drive the adoption of blockchain technology. For some people, maybe they find like this is boring. For me, this is not boring because my thing is this: I want to find out what is going to be the key thing for we can get that adoption. And when I did my last Jasmine video, I put so much emphasis on the topic of, the domestic stable coins, right? We always talk about foreign stable coins. For that focus, I put domestic stable coins. Now, why would I do that? The reason why I do that is for the same reason why we pay attention to Nexera, right? The bridge from TradeFi to DeFi. Here's another perfect example. If you talk about the flip of the switch, you have to include the traditional finance market because we live, currently speaking, in the traditional finance market until we get widespread adoption. If here in the United States, we are at 2% roughly, still same numbers almost from 2 years ago, as far as adoption, and the overall Joe Schmo out there, who doesn't know about blockchain, doesn't know about DLT or use cases, they possibly heard of Bitcoin, that's not going to get the job done. But what is going to get the job done is what we refer to as the flip of the switch, where traditional finance, right, still finances all this stuff, but it's tied into crypto through the likes of all this is on blockchain, DLT, and so on. That includes this quote unquote flip and switch. And by the way, in the deep dive for the Jasmine video and so on, it talks about some of these things because you see some of the local municipalities and so on who have basically, incorporated a lot of these things through their banks by putting, the assets on blockchain, right? So how do we get to that here in the United States? Well, this guy, Brad Doherty, apparently has some ideas. So he says, therefore, it's necessary for regulators to work closely with technologists, business, and other stakeholders to create a regulatory framework that fosters innovation while protecting consumers and maintaining the integrity of financial systems. Now, like I mentioned before, I feel as though it's DFFT all the way. That literally is the framework, and you've seen them reach across the aisle or cross borders, if you will, or overseas and so on to make that happen. But what about, taking it to the next level, right? I think that's where we're all trying to focus on it. So it says Doherty also highlighted the importance of compliance and how it fits into the idea of blockchain being a borderless tech. Well, how's it a borderless tech, right? If we talk about cross-border payments, and obviously BSV is going to stand out apparently in the future with this. I mean, all the mention of like Visa and so on, 100,000 plus TPS. Some guys have also mentioned 1 million, which is just absolutely insane. You're going to have some kind of thing to be compliant with the regulatory bodies of the world, right? So compliance obviously is key. How is it key? Well, it says blockchain applications, especially those dealing with finance and sensitive data, should be built with compliance in mind from the start. Not like, oh, here's the tech, then we'll just incorporate it at some point down the road. No, though I think those days are obviously gone. He realizes it too. This includes compliance with data protection laws, hence why I put so much emphasis on DFFT. And if you own Jasmine at this point, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but if you own Jasmine for, I would say, more than 3 months and you still don't know about DFFT, you owe it to yourself to know about DFFT, right? Because that literally is the regulatory framework. That's why Japan is leading the charge. Right? This includes compliance with data protection laws, financial regulations, and industry-specific regulations. How so? Well, it says, moreover, regulations should be flexible enough to keep up with the rapid pace of technological advancement in the blockchain space, a principles-based approach instead of perspective one, like, one set perspective. How about this? The SEC's perspective of one size apparently does fit all because we are the evil dictators that are just going to say, yep, this is security, that's the security, all this is security, except for BTC or except, Bill Himmon's special interest group that he has with, Vitalik Buterin behind the scenes with Prometheum, for crying out loud. And we are going to follow that more closely, are we not? So it says this could allow for more of this flexibility. Finally, let's get down to the finally part because maybe you guys are sick of this. I don't know. It's okay. As blockchain tech is inherently borderless, it is crucial to work towards harmonizing regulations globally, he said. I like the idea of harmonization. Harmonization means insane amount of market cap in my book. When Selma Flood talks about, was it with like BlackRock and some of these other companies with the ETF coming on in and so on, like that's like 5, 10, 15 trillion in market cap brought in. And we made a big deal about Bitcoin hitting all-time highs on 11/11/2021, ETH as well. BTC was 69K. We're rough, I don't know, over 3 trillion in market cap for the overall crypto market cap, and have that completely smashed because you do have that institutional money coming in. This is why we pay attention to institutional money. This is why we pay so much attention to the cryptocurrency projects that are going to have things to, create a utility run. If you're brand new to this channel and so on, hey, welcome. Understand this. There is money to be made in a real true bull run, but oh my God, you want to talk about the generational wealth? That's where you need to find out more about what a utility run is and what it's about. And technically speaking, it's never happened yet, but institutional money is going to come in. And I don't know about you, I want to finish this race. I want to finish this marathon, but I want to finish it with the institutional money, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to take some profits just like any of us are going to do, right? We're going to take some profits, but that institutional money is the real life-changing, generational changing wealth that we all are yearning for. This last part, international cooperation can help prevent regulatory arbitrage and create a level playing field. A balanced and forward-thinking approach to regulation and compliance can support the responsible growth of blockchain tech, paving the way for it to deliver on its vast potential. But things basically have to happen, right? And we do need to, when we talk about, guys, reaching over the aisle, whether it's, in Congress and so on, it doesn't just start with that. It needs to be, all across the board, many different countries. But it does seem as though, like, for instance, like I mentioned earlier, Japan and now the European Union leading that charge. Will the United States still be the last to show up to the big show? Always seems to be the case. And how do we know it seemed to be the case before? When you see talk about, the United States, with ISO 222, right? I believe, was it late November 2025, fully implemented. Everybody else is already on board. What is the holdup? Well, the holdup is a division when it literally comes to two different parties. Let's just be honest about it. All right. Going to kick it back into the comments. We do have a little bit more in regards to some of this talk about, standards and regulation and so on, but I'm glad to have you guys here. Let's jump back to what we have. Pretty decent turnout tonight. We're at 52. Please smash the like if you appreciate the content. Glad to have you guys. All right, let's read a few more comments, and I'm going to double check the other screen, making sure I didn't miss anything. I'm going to give a shout to our big brother, Mr. Rue Black, a.k.a. Brother Rue. Need to get you back on the show sometime, my friend. Great content creator. Let's give him a shout out, and let's give him a plug for his channel. Let me see where he's at. Rue Black. Pull this up real quick. The Brother Rue. Here we go. So here's Rue Black's channel. Give him a follow. Just simply type in RUELL space Black, or you can do @Black Rue RUE. He covers quite a few different things, and usually, in my opinion, like utility and stuff, which is good. But he's got, I think he does a lot of recent live shows. Yeah, he obviously talked about Bitcoin at 30K, bull run ready, top or not. You may want to buy some QNT. I would agree with that. Some things we talked about recently, what BlackRock Bitcoin ETF could really mean for crypto. So he's always, keeping everybody in the loop, and so on, which is really, really good. All right. So thank you for being here, Mr. Rue. And we're kicking into a few more comments. Man, I don't know. I'm going to read a few more. I all of a sudden am not feeling too well. I honestly feel like, I don't know, something is just, I feel sick for some reason. Like, too much information, but I don't feel too good. I've never felt like I needed to throw up in probably a couple of years or more. Oh, man. I am not feeling well. I am so sorry. Guys, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to go throw up. I hate to say that. I'm so sorry. I got to go. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go. Too much information. You don't want to hear that. I got to go. It's really bad. I'm all of a sudden sick for some reason. I don't know what it is. I'll see you guys. Over and out for now. Bye-bye.